After all this time, I found you. So many centuries have I worn this blindfold and participated in this tradition, knowing that you were somewhere in this world. I would find you. I was beginning to fear that you were avoiding me, but I was a fool to think as such, wasn't I? All I needed to do was search elsewhere. This entire time, you were hidden here, in the walls of an enemy kingdom. If I'd known I should find you here, I would have come to one of these pointless meetings long ago. But I suppose that this meeting wasn't pointless. At long last I found you, my beloved, my fated, my darling, the one who shall rule by my side until we are taken by death's hand. My darling, what's the issue there? Why did you push me away? Please, tell me why you distanced yourself from me. Have I done something wrong? My darling, I can hear you breathing. You sound panicked. Please, tell me what the issue is. Tell me how I might help you resolve it. I will do whatever it takes to set you at ease. Your pounding heart is causing mine to ache, darling. Please, I beg of you, tell me what makes you so nervous. You still say nothing. Is your fear that you know so little of me? Well, I've known of my fated love. You might have no idea. I can't deny that it hurts me to think that you have felt no draw to me like I have to you. But I would understand, if that were the case. If you would please take this blindfold from around my eyes, it would be my honor to explain everything to you. I would gladly explain the circumstances of my love. Please, my darling, allow me to look upon you. Allow me to explain myself to you. I swear on my life that I'll tell you everything. I won't spare a single detail. Thank you, my darling. You? You? Why are you here? What have you done with my fated? You wretch! You dare take them from me? Don't you lie to me. I've no time to waste on you when the one I sought after for years have finally been found. Now tell me where you have put them. What do you mean they were here? I know they were. That look on your face. Why do you seem so surprised? Could it be that you did not expect the queen of the vampires to feel love? Did you think I was heartless, you knife ear? Remember? What do you mean? What memory could have possibly been brought to you at this moment? Because unless it is anything in regards to the location where you've taken my fated, I do not care what it could have been. I will answer no question about them until I know that they're safe. Lead me to them now, lest you wish to find your ribs torn away from your spine. How dare you say such a thing? I know my fated. I know the taste of their blood when it passes my lips. It was the taste on my lips when I held them last night. I would know it anywhere. The fact you dare to question my love is beyond stupid. Are you playing the part of a fool on purpose? Of course I know the smell of their blood. Drawing a blade after committing such a vile act against myself and my fated? You truly have a death wish, don't you? Just tell me where they are and I might spare you. What are you doing? Why do you bare your neck? Your blade. You aim it at your own neck? Why? By God, what have you done? Your blood is not... Ew. Why does your blood smell as theirs does? No. No, that cannot possibly be. You and I, we could never be. No, there's no chance that you're the one who holds my heart. It cannot be so. Because you are my enemy. We've been ahead of our kingdoms for centuries, and not for 1 second of those many years we have been friends. Our kingdoms may be at peace, but that does not mean there is no tension between the two of us. We share no history besides our hostile arguments and drawn-out duels. In fact, we do. I met them before I even had the chance to participate in our tradition. Yes, truly. It was how I recognized the taste of their blood. And why do you care, Why should that matter to you? Fine, but only to prove that you could never be them. Do you understand me? It was several hundred years ago, when I was not yet the queen over all the vampire kind. I was the only heir to my parents' throne, but I'd only been a full-fledged vampire for a century. I was still unruly and wild, with the bloodlust soaking into my brain worse than any other liquor could manage. Oh, be silent! I'm sure you weren't any better in your youth. I'm sure there's not a single soul who hasn't heard the rumors of the sinful parties you held in the depths of the human forests. Tell me, is there where you met your last lover of yours? The one who tried to steal your face and name some centuries ago? Yes, that's what I thought. You shouldn't throw stones when you're surrounded by walls of glass, you know. Fine, I'll continue, provided there are no more interruptions. Though it was, in fact, a similar type of party where I met them. Though, rather than the forest, it was in the center of a human village. One of the larger ones, in fact. It was the night of the festival. Though I could never keep track of what human holidays happen at what point of the year. But I did know that where there is a party, there was alcohol. And where there is alcohol, there was always a willing throat. Every face was hidden by a mask, and I bought one from a vendor so that I might not stand out. The dark streets were lit by large fires that blazed at every crossroad, the largest of which was in the center of the village. The townsfolk were dancing around it as lively music was played and drinks passed between them. Then I saw them, golden in the firelight. They moved unlike anyone else, a vision amongst the flames, and I couldn't help but to stare. Evidently, they noticed my gaze, and it must have sparked their interest. They pulled me into a dance, and I could not deny them. We danced until the song was finished, and then danced to the next one, and to the one after that. So entranced by them, I had forgotten the entire reason I came there. We danced together until the fires were all but embers drifting away in the wind. Then, with only the weak flickers of ash in the air, they told me that they seen the gleam of my fangs against my lips. They told me that they would not allow me to leave without experiencing the feel of them. I was but a weak, romantic thing who was captivated and hungry, and I gave in so easily. I pulled them into the dark alley and asked that they bare their neck for me. They smiled at me and... Yes, that's right. They pulled me close and they... Yes, and then they told me I could drink my fill from them, but only if... Yes, a kiss for every drop to pass my lips. It was you, wasn't it? All those centuries ago. It was you that I danced with and drank from. It's your blood that I've tasted on my tongue for all these years. It's been you, in my every waking thought. You're the one that I printed on so long ago. Oh, it's almost funny, in a way. I spent so many years searching for you. And yet, here you are, the person I glared at from across a war room table while we exchanged words sharper than swords. I stood so close to you that I could count your eyelashes. And yet, the tradition has never taken place so close enough for me to find you before last night. Yes, the moon hunt. After we imprint it on someone, we create a link to their soul. However, it's quite common that we create an imprint without realizing it. It might be years before we realize that our hunger is for a particular person's blood. Such was the case with me. So I decided to go through with the moon hunt and attempt to find you. But since it only lasts for a time that the moon is at the pinnacle to sunrise, I've never been able to make it to you. I've woken in the forest a great many times, cursing that even in the winter, I did not have enough time to reach you. But this time I did. At long last, I was close enough to find you. Then last night, when the moon hunt took place, what happened? No, I remember nothing. Once the moon has reached the peak of its path and my eyes are covered from its light, my mind goes blank and the heart commands our journey. What took place? An attack? You thought I was attacking you? What could make it so? Oh, yes. I suppose that trying to bite your neck in your sleep would seem like an attack. I didn't know I'd be so violent in such a state. I apologize. That was quite horrid of me. To attack someone so defenseless is nothing less than deplorable. Well, that would explain the terrible headache I'm suffering right now. I'm actually quite impressed. It's hard to get such a good angle on a hit while still lying in bed. I always knew you were a formidable fighter, but I didn't expect that you had so much of experience in warding off nighttime attacks. Fair enough. I imagine you've seen many assassinations attempts in your years, as the current ruler of the elven kingdom. Well, I should hope I'm better than any assassins that come after you. You are my fated, after all. Fighting our enemies is now something we shall do together. Is it too soon to say such a thing? My apologies. I've simply dreamed of this day for so long that the words find themselves on my tongue without thought. I will try to refrain from using them again. You mean that you're not opposed to the idea? I cannot say that I'm not surprised. After so long of being enemies, it is a shock to hear those words from your lips. I suppose you're right in that regard. Hate is too strong for a word for what I feel for you. Admittedly, I've always had a begrudging respect for your mind. Your intellect has invaded my thoughts on more occasions than I would care to have told you before, and your sharp tongue has often left me wishing to hear you speak more. I thought that perhaps it was a result of the fiery rivalry, but should my thoughts be seen in other lights, they might be confused for those of an admirer. Oh, is that the case? Then, if I make a bold suggestion, would you be willing to consider entering a courtship with me? Oh, your neck! You're still bleeding! Allow me to patch you up. Perhaps, if I was a younger vampire, or if I hadn't fed in a long enough time, I might. But seeing as I apparently took some of your blood last night, I'm not so hungry as to be ravenous. I promise that I'm full control of myself. You wish for that? Even after my brazen attack on you last night? Are you quite certain that's what you want? I cannot... No, it's not that I do not wish to feed on you, but I fear that I won't be able to control myself. If I were to bite you without any regards last night, then who's to say that I might not do it again? I know what I said, but it's not just any blood that I'm drinking. It's yours. I have dreamt of only your blood for years. You're my longest held craving, the one that I desire above all else, even if I cannot guarantee that I won't take more than I should. Why must you fight me on this? I worry on your behalf, and here you are, willing to throw your life into my hands. Worse yet, into my fangs. Oh, and what deal should keep my mind from turning into that of the beasts? What combination of words could keep me grounded when I have your throat in my mouth? A kiss for every drop that passed my lips? Perhaps you know me better than I expected, for I think those very words shall manage to do the trick. Yes, I'm agreeing to your deal. Such a smug grin that you wear. I'll steal it from you before long. Oh, but of course, I'm sure you will. Now, move your hand from your neck. I'll drink from the injury you have already created. Though I'll warn you, I'll still have to bite into your flesh. I'm not stalling, I'm just giving you my fair warning. But fine, if you want me to speed the process along, then I will. But please, you must warn me if I start to take too much. I would never give myself for hurting you more than I have. No, I need you to promise me. Please, darling. Thank you. Now do your best to set yourself at ease. Straining would only earn you a bruise that would be far too difficult to cover. Patience, my love. I'm just savoring this moment. I can't tell you for how long I've dreamed of this moment. Fine, I should delay no longer. My own wants will not allow it. Oh, by the gods, love, you tasted better than even my clearest memories. My head feels light and my knees feel weak. My darling, you are addictive. There, I can take no more, lest I lose myself to you. More? I won't take any more blood from you. I refuse it. Then why should I take more? What reason could there be for that? My darling. My darling, I know what our deal dictates, but you need not give me any more blood to draw a kiss from my lips. Those I will give willingly and at your request. Though, if I recall, I owe you at least one for every drop of your delectable blood that passed my lips. If that's your request, then I'm happy to oblige. This may not be what I expected to happen when I finally meet my fated, but I dare say that this is even better. I think this will be a very happy courtship indeed.